Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw Event Center report. And now here is the man to give you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode 1927. 73 episodes away from 2000, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the final Raw Event Center for 2024. Not only that, it is the final Monday Night Raw on the USA Network. Now, before we get into what we're going to talk about, as far as Monday Night Raw, because it's over not too long ago, I want to thank the USA Network for airing Monday Night Raw, giving us a lot of great moments of Monday Night Raw for over 30 years. I know for almost 30 years, because for about, 2002, for about 5 years, for 5 of those 30 years, Raw was on the Spike Network, TNN network, but for 25 of those 30 years that Raw was broadcast on the USA Network, I want to thank the USA Network for all the great memories. I've been watching Raw since the beginning of 1998, full-time. I was a full-time wrestling fan in 1998. I was a part-time wrestling fan since 1990, and since the early 80s with Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, but since 1998, I've been a full-time wrestling fan, and it was all those Raw memories that were totally awesome. And I want to take this time to thank the USA Network, and for those of you who can't afford Netflix, better find some way to do so. And I am going to be determined to this Friday go and get a Netflix gift card. I'm going to renew my subscription to Monday Night to Netflix so I can watch Monday Night Raw. So, and to continue that trend. So, and I'm hoping that all of you who are wrestling fans and love Monday Night Raw will get to watch it as well. So I'm really excited. So get excited. I know I am. So let's get right into it. Let's dive right into the final Monday Night Raw on the USA Network broadcast. The final USA Network broadcast of Monday Night Raw. The final Raw of 2024. As next week we're going to enter a new era. And in fact, next month will be 32 years of Monday Night Raw. But for the very first time, it's going to be on a streaming service. Not on TV. You know, even though I could easily say the new USA Network dropped the ball, but the WWE wants to move in a new direction. But the good news is, technically they have, USA Network has not, because they'll have SmackDown now for 3 hours on Friday nights. So, there's your silver, they say in every dark cloud there is a silver lining. The dark cloud is Monday Night Raw is leaving the USA Network. Silver lining, SmackDown is not. So there you go. I mean, at one time in September, all 3 brands were on the USA Network. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Now, all 3 brands are going their separate ways. Next week, Raw is moving to Netflix, NXT's on the CW Network, and SmackDown remains on the USA Network. Hey, that's pretty good. So, let's get going for the final Raw on the USA Network broadcast. Final Raw broadcast on the USA Network. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett were about to kick it off, and Wade Barrett was about to introduce main event Jey Uso, but then the New Day interrupts them. And they try to talk, but the Houston crowd booed him right out of the building. Jey Uso came up, and, Jey Uso says, hey, let's let these guys speak, but they don't want none of it. And he goes, I got one thing to say to you, that's New Day sucks. And you know what? I'll tell you what. Before I continue on, what Jey Uso tried to do. And here's the deal, okay? Kofi, Xavier, Big E has offered his services to you to help you guys get back on your feet. And you decide to slap the hand and bite the hand that fed you, so to speak. Big E gave his heart to you guys. That's why the fans are booing you, because they know that you needed Big E. Yeah, you want him to be back in the ring. But hey, Big E knows. Big E knows that he's not be able to compete. Big E wants to contribute to the New Day in his way. In any capacity at this point. But you two turned your backs to him. So don't tell me, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, you don't understand why the fans are booing you. You know why they booed you, man. Come on. Smarten up. Smarten up, Xavier Woods. Smarten up, Kofi Kingston. Smarten up. Understand the fans. Listen to them. They're booing you for a reason. And you know why. You better come to that realization. More on the New Day. Jey Uso then calls out Drew McIntyre. Then the Rogue Bloodline interrupts Jey, which gives Drew McIntyre to ambush Jey Uso from behind with the Claymore. Kathy Kelly interviewed American Made Chad Gable. Chad Gable says he's going to beat Otis and kill his creation. Otis and Chad Gable fought, and it was a heck of a matchup. But the Creed Brothers and Ivy Nile got involved, and then Akira Tozawa and Maxie Dupree tried to fight back. But once again, Ivy Nile got involved, distracting Otis, and Chad Gable beat him by submission. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan addresses their 2024 and Dusty match next week. It will be a last woman standing match for the women's world title. And the Judgment Day, we're talking about that match and the 6-man tag. And basically, Finn Balor says, hey, anybody listens to Finn, they'll win. J.D. McDonough's concerned about Liv Morgan, and even Raquel Rodriguez is caught in the middle of this. Is why don't you tell Liv the best of luck? I think Finn Balor's obsession with Damian Priest has really affected his mind. Then Kathy Kelly interviewed let's reverse back. R-Truth about to come out for his match against Pete Dunne, but Pete Dunne attacked R-Truth from behind because R-Truth mentioned the word Butch. Pete Dunne, listen, dude, go easy on R-Truth, man. You're a nut psycho. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. And then Kathy Kelly interviewed Damage Control before Dakota Kai's matchup against Zoe Stark and Io Sky and Dakota Kai. They said, hey, if it comes down to the two of us, as long as a member of Damage Control becomes the first women's Intercontinental Champion, that's fine. And then Dakota Kai and Zoe Stark went one-on-one. Now, I thought this match was going to happen next week with the Raw debut on Netflix. You got to make it big. But they decided to put 2 weeks from today. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? So Dakota Kai and Zoe Stark went one-on-one. And I think by order of Adam Pearce, the rest of Pure Fusion collection is in the back. Has to be banned from ringside, which didn't do Zoe Stark any good because Dakota Kai ended up winning that matchup. And she'll face either her Damage Control teammate Io Sky, who had to fill in for an injured Kairi Sane, which the Pure Fusion Collection took out a couple weeks ago. So, and or will Dakota Kai face Lyra Valkyria? And Pierce did talk to CM Punk and Seth Rollins separately, possibly saying, hey, no physicality and all that good stuff. Whatever. 6-man tag match. Damian Priest and the War Raiders took on the Judgment Day. That will be Finn, Big Ears Balor, Dominic Dum Dum Mysterio, and on Klingon head, JD McDonough or JD McDumbass. JD McDumbass. Anyways, and Priest and the War Raiders win the matchup, but then Balor decides to attack Damian Priest after the matchup. War Raiders came and chased them away, and Finn Balor says, we're not done yet. And then Adam Pearce talks to Jay. He says, listen, Solo's gone. I made sure you got out of the building. I made sure Drew McIntyre left, but you want to fight? I'll tell you what, you and Drew next week on Netflix. So that card's even gotten bigger. And then you get the Zero promo with the scary face, and it looks familiar. Will it be known as Pentagon Jr., Pentagon Dark, Penta El Zero Miedo? Will he make his debut next week on the first Raw on Netflix? We shall soon see. We shall find out. And then Ludwig Kaiser comes out, and he dresses and calls out Braun Breaker. Instead, Sheamus comes out, fights him, brawls with him. Bro kicks him in the face into the middle of next week to the point where Tiffany Stratton will probably wouldn't recognize him. Ludwig Kaiser and Tiffany Stratton are dating, just to let you know that. And, hey, looks like Sheamus wants to be the men's Intercontinental Champion. We shall so see about that. Rey Mysterio then cheered up Otis along with Alpha Academy and said, hey, you dust yourself off, and get back in the ring. You can get back in the ring with Chad Gable, and you can kick his butt again. And he's like, yeah, he's motivated. And then New Day confronts the LWO, and they start making fun. I'll tell you one thing. I'll teach you a lesson about a matchup. Oh, you want a matchup, okay? Who are you going to bring? Your cosplayers here? You got mask guy, hat guy, no hat guy, and calls Zelina Vega Little Kim? Really? Come on, man. Don't insult the lady. And you know what, though? I would not be surprised if Rey Mysterio goes, I'm not choosing any of my teammates. He'll choose the newest acquisition of Monday Night Raw. Imagine it, Pentagon, Penta El Zero Miedo, at Penta. Imagine he be the mystery partner for Rey Mysterio. Something to think about, folks. Something to think about. That could be it. And then they had the second women's semifinals match. Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria. That's the final matchup of the Raw USA Network broadcast. Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria went one-on-one. Heck of a matchup. And Valkyria did pick up the victory. So 2 weeks from today, it will be the Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament final. Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria. You're talking about an international matchup. Dakota Kai representing New Zealand, while Lyra Valkyria representing Ireland. Seth Rollins addresses the Houston crowd. CM Punk comes out, interrupts Rollins. They went at it. Seth Rollins calls CM Punk a cancer. And then Seth Rollins got some insults thrown in. And he says, I hated the guy that was in charge and he loved you. I was like, he was referring to Bruce Pritchard with his brother love gimmick. I know that part. But he also talked about Vince McMahon. But now we're entering a new era. And they said that, and Seth Rollins says he's going to burn you down to the ground. So can't wait for that matchup next week. Well, that is it for the final Raw Event Center on the USA Network. The final Raw Event Center for 2024. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As you know, tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Got a lot to say. We get the final Trebek Tuesday of 2024. Next week will be under a new name. Trebek's Twin Bill Tuesday. Or I'm going to shorten it up to the T3 Special. I'm excited. So, that's it. That's all the time we have on the show. episode 1627. I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed night. Stay safe out there. Until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.